happening. So the other event that occurred in this tribulation window was that Jezariah, or whatever his name, Jizzy Ben David, came on the scene. I've shown YouTube videos where he was presented as a rabbi, young man, discussing with the scholars, and they came right out and said, hey, he's the Mashiach. He's the anointed one. This man, right on schedule, people. He's going to read. He's going to be admired. Whatever role he's going to play in the Zionist side of a game plan here, we'll find out. When Kushner comes back to do his invocation at the third temple, it may be this guy that is the facilitator, because they announced him already. So we're in this second half of the tribulation window. And what's going on right now? Right now, with all this teaching of law of LAW 440, eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, but at least we have rules and neighbors, and if they beat the shit out of each other, we got jails for it. So there's some regulation for the 440, don't you know? And we've got prisoner guards that can make sure that law and order is kept, and they'll be out of their minds with PTSD and unable to manage things normally because they're dealing in a crazy world of law and order where, hey, how can you help these people at this point? It's madness. You don't know when they're going to come get you and throw you in the box. And you have a right to remain silent. So we're fighting back with these laws that are based on legal situations. And you better follow doctors' orders. Those same men, those lawyers will tell you, listen, there's doctors and lawyers. So follow the law and obey doctors' orders, because they make all the money. Don't you see? So what's occurring here is these things. Jizzy Ben David, I wobbled it right over here because this is near real time. You have a Mossad that did 9/11, that did Miami for DeSantis, that did cataclysmic activity, Ark of the Covenant, might do Three Gorges, it's Zion. So this rabbi came out, and he was at the wall. Trump's all about a wall. Jerusalem was the center of gravity. Trump moved it there. Everything's coming there. And Kushner, Third Temple. Well, there's an Abraham Accord that was signed by Trump with other players in the Middle East to bring investment opportunity for prosperity. You see, it's about prosperity of the species. So it's going to be incorporated in the three tenets of Abraham, because it's about Abraham. This is where this comes from. Okay? He was Abram. There's a good version that wants you not to steal anything. But who are you to say who's stealing? If the man is hungry, doesn't he deserve something? If somebody's going to die as a result of that man not swiping something to get it to him, has he committed a sin? Well, we need to fix the problem. And the problem's not the man. The problem is the system. So it's that level of discernment, yet we had all this code slapped on us to run, dodge, and jump our way through and pay taxes and watch television and be programmed and not have a damn clue about anything. And yet, I could have a conversation with somebody that would be ignorant enough to tell me that, hey, hang on a minute, Bill. I know. I know. And I'm telling you right now that just by virtue of saying that, the chances are you don't know. Unless you're one of them. Because they were given, they got the code. They got upped. And if you don't think that George Bush and Hillary Clinton and the Rockefellers and Bill Clinton and the Bushes and the Queen of England and the royalty that's either coming one side or the other, Adolf Hitler, these names of the dark side of Solomon and the management that went to New Schweizland and they all coordinated down there, and they're down there right now. And Operation Paperclip brought all the scientists over, and Mockingbird brought all the media over for the mainstream media, so we could watch all this and go, whoa, isn't this cool the way Pope Francis is? He's such a great pope. He's liberal, but he's also Jesuit, is he not? He's white Jesuit. So this is what's going on. This is the Abrahamic production that they've embraced on the Solomonic side of blood tapestry. It's the Talmud, where it's an abomination of infancy onwards, where you just make fun of the fact of what you can do to human beings. And then there's the Jesuit Vatican. They don't know how to fight. They just left Afghanistan intentionally just to aggravate people like me who know that that was ridiculously stupid, and it's just shameful. Yet we lived through it, and all the warriors went there with their training and tried to figure out how to drive from one place to another without being blown up. That's what our army did over there. I know it. I was over there. I saw it firsthand. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Madness over there. Driving cars at high speeds, and there's no winning. It's just Afghanistan I'm talking about. The Khyber Pass, Pakistan. Come on. What the hell are we doing over there? So, here's the triad right here coming at you. The Talmud of warped Judaism, anti-Judaic. Here's the 440 rocking out of the Vatican going, drop it. There won't be any DNA to look at in Pennsylvania. We don't know how to fight. We're going to leave Afghanistan. We are the Dracos, by the way. And don't confuse any of this with anything Aryan, because these guys are all from Abraham. They're all Draco. Draco. Whoop! Nothing left. Except for this connectivity to Pope John Paul II. You can switch this out. This is the switch point from Draco to Nazi. Because John Paul II was a Nazi. Now, was he from Abram, the people's pope? Or was he from Abraham? Sister Faustina, steer them down the conveyor belt so we can torture the mindset of eternal hell that doesn't exist, which he did. Canonized Sister Faustina as the first saint in this century, and he was fast-tracked to sainthood himself. I don't mean to pick him out because, let's face it, John Paul II, on balance, seemed to be a good guy. Nobody really was like, hey, we need to get him the hell out of office. He was just rolling along. He got shot by the Turkey guy and took the bullet to Fatima and claimed this and that. Whatever. I'm not judging him, but I'm telling you what, he was a Nazi from Poland who put that woman in place. That Faustina woman was given the talking points to torture everybody. If you go there and you just learn about it. So the last part is the Muslims. This is Mahmoud al-Sisi. This is the bloc. View them as a bloc will come together as the opposition to you in a crusade. Don't you see how they got it organized? This is the crusade right here. And these guys are saying, look, we live in Jerusalem. You're fighting over our turf right here. This is how they got it knocked out. So, in conclusion, I guess this would be a good place to, it's another one of these things where you could talk about the right and the wrong. The Ten Commandments does say don't kill. But it also, as I mentioned, it's got the stealing thing. And most of them are correct when you discern them. But I'm a jealous God. Don't have strange gods before me. Excuse me? Who are you? Well, there's my creator, Abun, who, well, of course, there's only one. But who are you telling me what? And then angel of death and sacrifice of Abel. And Moses was whatever. So Moses, weirdly enough, I don't think Moses ever changed his name. He came floating out of the reeds and got picked up in Egypt and kind of took over the story out of nowhere. And whoop, all of a sudden the sea was parted, but the real Israelites, they were in quarantine up on the high ground. So Moses masterminded through all that crap. I don't know what you're dealing with, but there was Mosaic law that Yeshua said, no, 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 no. That's your law. This is all your law, Abraham. I am Aramaic. I am unity consciousness. That's what Yeshua was. And he, okay, to leave the egoic mind, very important points. The egoic mind is established based upon all this, contributes to refined ego. Now, you can speak multiple languages. You babbled up. What is that egoic mind now at the advanced 440? It's ultimately a desire to belong. It's the Walt Disney membership. It's the Masonic handshake up to the 33rd degree of recruitment. And you decide you want to be a member. You want to be the guy at the meeting that gets the bullshit afterwards. But because your family's not more important, the bowling league is more important, you lose your essence of yourself. Are you meditating? Are you closing your eyes? Are you loving each other to the point where you don't need to belong to anything? You need to belong to a one, and I'm just using words here to tell you because of course we all want to be one. So we would want to be one with our Creator. That's our calling, but this calling is the ego. It's the left side of your brain saying, hey, I want my big house in the deed restricted neighborhood that other people can't get into because I'm in that club. And those people aren't bad. They're giving, they're church going, they're nice. They're the guys that sit next to you at the game, and their children go to school with your children. So of course you forgive automatically. You have compassion. If you aren't wound up to take it in and know that unconditional love of the whole situation is the heart trigger that will get you over this, because if you don't do that, then you're going to buy into everything that's on TV right now. So you have to shut your eyes and learn about who you are. So the other thing that comes with the ego is that Nazi thing. Hey, I feel superior, way, shape, and form in your vibration. When I pass by that other person, I have an ego. I have greed. And even though I smile at the person on the subway, they're from their shithole. I'm from my place. I've been educated, and I'm superior to them. So I'm going to cut them when it comes time to get off the train. If they think they're getting ahead of me, I'm in a hurry. I got some ways to go. They'll stink. And I'll have to smell them if I get behind them. So I'm going to pre-position myself. I won't even have to look at them. I want to get on with my day. Now, I just described the issue of an essential human dysfunction where, the antithesis of that is smiling at the woman, seeing she's got 3 bags, knowing that as the train is coming to a halt and it's going to be a madhouse at this stop, hey, do you need any help? And you help her off. And she's from some country where they have different perfume, which is none. But it smells good after a while and it goes away. So I've heard there are people I could ask. I don't want to distract. Look at my dirty page. Okay, so speaking of dirty. Ah, man. Was that an experience? I know I'm dragging on now, so I'm going to try and close this out in a good way by telling you that because of our Creator and because of all the angels that supported the construction of our body, we have the ability in our DNA to beat everything, to repair ourselves, If a salamander can grow a new tail, then you bet that a human being has been preordained when we line everything up and ascend above 440 wisdom and do the perfect 432 match, and all our other brothers and sisters wake up. You know, when you are elite spiritually, it's a challenge. It's a great day, but you know that there have been failures before, and you define your failure in all your brothers and sisters that you love. Me, this is how I roll now. It's all about whether or not they wake up in this window, which apparently is going to be 30 years. So I guess I'm maybe a little bit impatient. I just know the state that we're in right now with this vaccine and with our senior management humans on this planet who have given up their understanding at a fundamental level, and it's very widespread. The problems that we have as humans, that's what concerns me. The lack of awareness. That people can be told, oh, did you see Trump came down? I always use this example of the Trump staircase on The Simpsons, and all the foreshadowings and all the esoterically strange things that occur on the planet, and they're not given any credence. And then, lo and behold, we have this worldwide black magic oppression that's bludgeoning us with subsequent variations and vaccines that don't seem to work. So 31 January, great way to close. It's a big day for us. And it's going to be another addition to the body of Christ, waking up. Put the name Christ after your last name, after your family name. Put it there, because he wants you to have that there. That's why he came here, for you to be his equal. He wouldn't have bothered coming. Why would he need to come and do anything if he already ran everything? The only way he's going to be truly happy is if every possible person gets swept up into his kingdom for 1,000 years. That's what's coming. And if we can hold together past that, it's never going to stop. To the point where we as the creator get to write storyboards together based upon all our collective memory complex. I'm along for the ride. I love Kia Ra, especially because just look at her team, look at her, make her a part of your day, understand who they are, go divine feminine, embrace it, feel it. You are it. Okay? You are it. Look at my shirt, it's so cool. Why am I wearing it? Because I want to be lit. I like looking lit. I don't do a very good job of it most of the time. But I have good dreams, and when I wake up and I realize that we're still doing this, I feel great. And I'm buzzing for the rest of the day, and I put together, I'm telling you, 2.5 hours ago, I was like, I wonder what I'm going to do today. And here I am doing this. Because I watched Sam's RH negative video from last March of 2021. It was recorded right in the halftime show of when Pope Francis went to and when Chizzy Ben David wobbled out in late March. So I should put those, I'll include as many attachments as I can to supporting videos, so you don't think that I'm fibbing, so to speak. One day I won't have to wear glasses. One day we'll be like radar, bat, bat. Look at bats. Look at bats. They don't have eyes. They go whipping around like butterflies, and they don't crash into each other and fall down. So what do you think about positive and negative energy and bat blood? I don't care about bat blood. I don't want to eat any bats. Case closed. Case closed. Let's close it. Bats have radars. I mean, come on. That's got to be RH negative. Oh, the science that I missed. If only I had known what could have been studied. See, that's what happened. Now, in final closing, I love my creator, and I missed the big wheel. And had I been of an age where computers just got a few more Moore's law into it, and the human genome was more than just looking through Mrs. Scott's microscope to see the paramecium. We saw paramecium. Holy crap. The woman was, Mrs. Scott was a science teacher. You weren't going to crack her egg. But I'm going to tell you what, when she actually observed some pond water in our 6th grade science class, holy smoke, the woman had a scientific elation that was discernible. And I found it interesting, but not interesting enough to say, gee, I want to stare at drops for the rest of my life. Now you start getting into computers and the human genome and all the quantum stuff that I'm referring to now, that's a completely different calling that I was apparently too old to be interested in. And look what they did. I left it behind, and look where they went with it. Bill Gates grabbed it. He took that in Microsoft, that nerd. And that guy's double dipped out now. He's gone for the cycle. Whatever the cycle is, Gates is out of the game. He high-selfed himself into the locker room of the showers on Mars. So I don't know where that high self is incubating. Maybe he's doing something on Nibiru. But I don't think so. Only because Nibiru's way the hell out there and he just had to renegotiate in August. So let me tell you what. We're talking Mars. We're talking proximity for Gates. Gotta be. But he's locked in. And when they vacate out, apparently he's already made a decision that he wants to join them. So whatever his job is, I hope it stays good for him. And you know, you wish the best for all humans. All the O positives that came originally and have been just hit up through generations and generations. And with reincarnation, who knows what tapestry you jumped into from a blood orientation standpoint. I don't know. I'm going to guess that you have some choice. If you pursued a positive endeavor for your purpose, and you've made that choice, then certainly those considerations must go into the mix. And I will say that if you have the negative blood type and you can spin positive, you're a master. That is of worthy consideration, to a point where I need to be quiet and listen to your perspective, because you have been able to discern the level of discernment through the gifts that you've been given, much like a David Icke, I guess, without the blood, to be able to say, based upon how I'm influenced and how I'm influencing others, I want to make things correct. And that's essentially what that is. So, Yeshua ben Joseph and Mary Magdalene and the team of the collective of the 4.5 class of 2022. You have a great day.